Hey guys, welcome back to Trendy Gadget. Today we'll talk about 7 laws that we just could not live without in the USA. Let's head into it. Number 1. Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act. Improving child nutrition is the focal point of the Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act of 2010. The legislation authorized funding and set policy for the USDA's core child nutrition programs, the National School Lunch Program, the School Breakfast Program, and the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for Women, Infants, and Children, the Summer Food Service Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act allowed USDA, for the first time in over 30 years, opportunity to make real reforms to the school lunch and breakfast programs by improving the critical nutrition and hunger safety net for millions of children. Number 2. The Telemarketing Sales Rule. The Federal Trade Commission's Telemarketing Sales Rule, or TSR, puts you in charge of the number of telemarketing calls you get at home. The TSR established the National Do Not Call Registry, which makes it easier and more efficient for you to reduce the number of unwanted telemarketing sales calls you get. The law requires telemarketers to search the registry every 31 days and avoid calling any phone number on the registry. If you receive telemarketing calls after your telephone number has been in the registry for 31 days, you can file a complaint at donotcall.gov or by calling toll-free 1-888-382-1222. You need to know the date of the call and the company's name or phone number to file a do not call complaint. A telemarketer who disregards the National Do Not Call Registry could be fined up to $40,000 for each call. Number 3. Tobacco Control Act. The Tobacco Control Act puts in place specific restrictions on marketing tobacco products to children and gives FDA authority to take further action in the future to protect public health. These provisions ban sales to minors, vending machine sales, the sale of packages of fewer than 20 cigarettes, the tobacco brand sponsorships of sports and entertainment events or other social or cultural events, free giveaways of sample cigarettes, and brand name non-tobacco promotional items. The Tobacco Control Act requires the smokeless tobacco packages and advertisements have larger and more visible warnings. Smokeless tobacco includes tobacco products such as the moist snuff, chewing tobacco, and snus. For smokeless tobacco packaging, the warning label statement must be located on the 2 principal sides of the package and cover at least 30% of each side. For advertisements, the warning label statements must cover at least 20% of the area of the ad. These changes aim to increase awareness of the health risks associated with the smokeless tobacco use and improve the public health. Number 4. Fair Home Act. The Fair Housing Act protects people from discrimination when they are renting or buying a home, getting a mortgage, seeking housing assistance, or engaging in other housing-related activities. Additional protections apply to federally assisted housing. Learn about the history of the Fair Housing Act and read examples of the many forms of housing discrimination. Who is protected? The Fair Housing Act prohibits discrimination in housing because of race, color, national origin, religion, sex, familial status, disability. What types of housing are covered? The Fair Housing Act covers most housing. In very limited circumstances, the Act exempts owner-occupied buildings with no more than 4 units, single-family houses sold or rented by the owner without the use of an agent, and housing operated by religious organizations and private clubs that limit occupancy to members. What is prohibited? In the sale and rental of housing, it is illegal discrimination to take any of the following actions because of race, color, religion, sex, disability, familial status, or national origin. Set different terms, conditions, or privileges for sale or rental of a dwelling. Provide a person different housing services or facilities. Falsely deny the housing is available for inspection. Sale or rental. Make, print, or publish any notice, statement, or advertisement with respect to the sale or rental of a dwelling that indicates any preference, limitation, or discrimination. Impose different sales prices or rental charges for the sale or rental of a dwelling. Use different qualification criteria or applications, or sale or rental standards or procedures, such as income standards, application requirements, application fees, credit analysis, sale or rental approval procedures, or other requirements. Evict a tenant or a tenant's guest. Harass a person. Fail or delay performance of maintenance or repairs. Limit privileges, services, or facilities of a dwelling. Discourage the purchase or rental of a dwelling. Assign a person to a particular building or neighborhood or section of a building for profit. Persuade or try to persuade homeowners to sell their homes by suggesting that people of particular protected characteristic are about to move into the neighborhood. Or blockbusting. Refuse to provide or discriminate in the terms or conditions of homeowners insurance because of the race, color, religion, sex, disability, familial status, or national origin of the owner and/or occupants of a dwelling. Deny access to a membership in any multiple listing service or real estate broker's organization. Number 5. 21 is the legal drinking age. The Congress passed the National Minimum Drinking Age Act in 1984, establishing 21 as the minimum legal purchase age. Since then, drinking by high school seniors have fallen substantially, from 66% to 42%. During the same period, binge drinking by high school seniors, that is, having 5 or more drinks on an occasion, has fallen from 37% to 24%. Despite these improvements, too many teens still drink. In 2012, 42% of 12th graders, 28% of 10th graders, and 11% of 8th graders reported drinking alcohol in the past 30 days. That same year, 24% of 12th graders, 16% of 10th graders, and 5% of 8th graders reported binge drinking in the last 2 weeks. Why did the Congress pass the National Drinking Age Act? After Prohibition, nearly all states adopted a minimum legal age, or MLDA, of 21. Between 1970 and 1975, however, 29 states lowered the MLDA to 18, 19, or 20, largely in response to the change in the voting age. Studies conducted at the time show that youth traffic crashes increase as states lower their MLDA. In addition, the blood borders between states with different MLDAs caught public attention after highly publicized crashes in which youth below the legal drinking age would drive to an adjoining state with a lower MLDA, drink legally, and crash on their way home. Advocacy groups urged states to raise their MLDA to 21. Several did so in early 1980s, but others did not. To encourage a national drinking age, Congress enacted the National MLDA. A review by the U.S. General Accounting Office, conducted in 1988, found that raising the drinking age reduced youth drinking, youth driving after drinking, and alcohol-related traffic accidents among youth. Number 6. Copyright Law of the United States. This publication contains the text of Title 17 of the United States Code, including all amendments enacted by the Congress through March 27, 2020. It includes the Copyright Act of 1976 and all subsequent amendments to copyright law, the Semiconductor Chip Protection Act of 1984 as amended, and the Vessel Hull Design Protection Act as amended. The Copyright Office is responsible for registering intellectual property claims under all three. The United States copyright law is contained in chapters 1 through 8 and 10 through 12 of Title 17 of the United States Code. The Copyright Act of 1976, which provides the basic framework for the current copyright law, was enacted on October 19, 1976, as Public Law No. 94-553, 90 Stat 2541. The 1976 Act was a comprehensive revision of the copyright law in Title 17. Listed below in chronological order of their enactment are the Copyright Act of 1976 and the subsequent amendments to Title 17. Significant copyright legislation enacted since the last printed edition of this circular in December 2016 includes the Marrakech Treaty Implementation Act and the Orange Hatch-Bob Goodlot Music Modernization Act, both signed into law in October 2018. The National Defense Authorization Act for fiscal year 2020, the Satellite Television Community Protection and Promotion Act of 2019, and the Library of Congress Technical Corrections Act of 2019, and the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act signed into law in March 2020. Number 7. Children's Internet Protection Act, or CIPA. The CIPA was enacted by Congress in 2000 to address concerns about children's access to obscene or harmful content over the internet. CIPA imposes certain requirements on schools or libraries that receive discounts for internet access or internal connections through the E-Rate program, a program that makes certain communication services and products more affordable for eligible schools and libraries. In early 2001, the FCC issued rules implementing CIPA and provided updates to those rules in 2011. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen.